Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another One Piece chapter review. Today we'll be taking a look at chapter 1086. But before we get into that, I would like to say a little something about what's going on at the moment. First of all, this will be my last video for a bit. I'm going on a 1 month break, but when I come back, I've got big things planned. I've got a big Berserk video that I really want to do. But it's going to take a while, and I'm going to be working on it over this break, but it won't be around for a while. But no, I'm not, as you know, I'm not doing much editing, but my exams finish this week, and I'll only be gone a month then, and I'll be back to making videos. As you all know, if you've been keeping up to date with the Twitter, where I often post news of what's happening, you can go to there or in the link in the description. But I've basically decided to do quality over quantity. So I'm going to be still doing the One Piece chapter reviews, but I've decided I want to spend time making really big videos that I'm really happy with. I'm going to be teaching myself how to edit a bit better, and hopefully by next month I should have crafted a brilliant Berserk video. If it takes longer than that, I will fill the space with other videos, of course. But I've got a bunch of things planned this summer. The heat might slow me down a bit, but I'm gonna keep pushing forward. But anyways, with that all said and done, let's actually get on to the chapter. Now, this chapter took me a while to read, mostly because I was blind during it. I couldn't see. I had an eyelash in my eye. But this chapter was very good. First of all, though, I want to take a look at the beautiful color spread that Oda has done, which was a request by a reader to have Chopper and a cat crossing a rainbow reflected in a puddle. And it's beautiful. Everybody's there except Zoro, and nothing but Jinbei ain't either. But Zoro is very cute. He's got a little raincoat on. Luffy's jumping around. There's a frog lending a hand to Nami. Nami? No. So yeah, very beautiful. Love it very much. But let's actually get into the chapter. Now, this chapter, unlike all the other ones, mainly takes place after the events of the Reverie. It doesn't really take place during them. We see the aftermath of some things, but it tends to be just Sabo describing events, unlike us actually seeing them unfold in the last few chapters. Now, in this chapter, we get some big stuff happen. So first of all, we see Wapol and Vivi together. Vivi no longer in Wapol's mouth, thank God. Um, but no, Bonnie is, well, hungry, as usual. That's kind of her thing. But yeah, they're fleeing. Big News Morgans is offering to basically lend Vivi and Wapol a hand. Very nice stuff going on there. Um, CP0 are looking for Vivi. Uh, Vivi's like attendants are looking for Vivi. Everyone's really looking for Vivi. No one's looking for Wapol. I don't know what he did. What did he do to deserve this? I always thought he was a very kind person. Obviously, I am joking. But no. This chapter, we then cut to the five elders, which are getting a lot of time in chapters now, which I'm very excited by because we've really only seen one of them do anything recently. But we're going to see a lot more of them coming up, seeing as we now know they're basically all monsters. Turns out the weapon that they used to obliterate Lulusia is most likely a weapon made by Vegapunk, which I assume is like a satellite laser or something, because I believe they called it the mother frame, but they call it Vegapunk's creation. So I'm assuming it's like a satellite. Can't be sure. That's just what I'm assuming it is for the time being. But hey ho. Um, but no, if that is the case, that is quite interesting. We also see a few more of the Seraphims. I'm very excited about that. You get to see a few more of them. We get to see Doflamingo Seraphim, that one with the long neck Seraphim. I don't remember his name. I just remember his laugh and the fact that he's got a long neck. And he collects shadows. And we also get to see Crocodile Seraphim. Um, I, I think you guys are starting to realize I'm not very good with names, am I? No, Gecko Moria. There we go. It's finally come back to me now. Gecko Moria. If I had time to edit, I'd have probably deleted that, but I don't. So yeah, then we see actually what happened with Lulusia. We get a better understanding of how everything went down. So Sabo, he got to Lulusia, and a bunch of people were really rebellious there. They were really ready to like go to like war with the world government and everything. So Sabo was like, "All right, everybody who wants to like fight the world government, come with me." And then they all got in his ship, and then he went. But like the transponder snail that got cut off, the one that we heard him talking through, was not actually him. It was a pre-recording of him, and it was still on the island. That's why when the motherboard hit, it didn't kill Sabo, but it did kill the connection of the transponder snail because it blew it up. But you know that makes a lot more sense now. It does make me question a little bit about the sort of lighting Oda used, but I don't know. I'm not I'm not a lighting expert, so I'm gonna leave that there. But no, then we also see you know Eva give a bit of a lore dump. A character we've not actually ever heard of before, so that does concern me a little bit. But there was a saint that was around when the 20 kings first like invented the world government and that called he was called Saint Emu of the Nerona dynasty. I'm not sure which family that is because I don't think we've heard of them yet. Unless we have, but I don't think we have. Unless that's is that the dynasty from maybe Dressrosa, but I didn't think it was. Um, so maybe not. At this point, I'm not really sure. Either way, I really wanted Emu to be someone we like who's already been foreshadowed in the story. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this guy has been foreshadowed 50 times, but Oda's just become like a genius and figured out like something, and we've just never seen or even been able to figure out any clue that he's given us. And then when we see it, we're gonna be like, oh shit. Um, who knows? But you know, I hope it isn't the case that it's just some random character we've never met before, because I would be a little bit upset by that. Now then, here is something quite new. I I'll be honest, I don't know if Saint Charlos is dead. I think he may just have severe brain damage because he got flipping screwed in the head. They literally did like German suplexed each other into each other. I don't know. But like I'm assuming Saint Charles is dead because he looked pretty flat. He looked as flat as a pancake. But you know, I'm not sure. But what we do know now is Saint Don Quixote Mjolsgard is most likely dead, seeing as he's been crucified, and from the looks of it, his innards have been split open by a character who actually has a bit more importance than he looks. He looks just like an idiot. He literally his head is in the shape of a moon because of his hair. But this guy is the head of the Holy Knights, the supreme commander, Saint Fingalard, Fingalard, Fingerland, Fingerland. Oh, it doesn't matter. Garling. But this guy is important because he was the former king of God Valley, which is a place, if you know One Piece, you know holds some kind of significance for being pretty infamous. But you know, this this is big, and I'm gonna say it now. I think I may have cracked the case here. Now, we know that Shanks is a part of the Figurland family. It's never really been mentioned in the series, but we know it's the case because it was mentioned in One Piece film Red. It was mentioned that he is part of the Figurland family. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I just hope I am. And now, if this is indeed the case, That means these two would have to be related. Who fought on God Valley? Roger. Who was a part of Roger's crew when he was younger? Shanks. Now, if this correlation has no merit, I will be surprised. Because, and I'm willing to guess here, that the idea is that Shanks was found by Roger when they fought on God Valley. And that's why Shanks was a part of Roger's crew. Now, I may be so off here, I may not even be close. But if this isn't the case, I don't know how. It would just be too much of a coincidence, you know? Like, it has to be. Now, this guy has to be pretty strong, I'm assuming. Like, he's the first character we've seen that can just execute a celestial dragon. Like, that has never been done before. No matter how powerful a character is, they're not just allowed to legally execute a celestial dragon. So this guy must have some sort of like stupid high level of authority, because not even admirals are allowed to do that. So we know these Holy Knight guys are impressive, but like, are they like strong? Because obviously Mjosgard isn't. None of the celestial dragons are particularly powerful, unless you count the five elder stars, which I don't really, because you know they're the five elder bloody stars, and like five like cool old people that can turn into monsters versus a bunch of people who wear bubbles on their head and have like who all look like 40-year-old man kids. I wouldn't exactly call them one and the same, but you know. So, you know, um, I just don't see how powerful this guy is. Is he on the same level of strength as maybe like an emperor? What are we talking here? CP0 level? We talking? I really have no clue. But damn, does that look like a nice coat? I would rock that coat. Them boots as well. Whew. Not to mention, he is sitting with style. That is how that is how I sit every day, with a little less swagger. I almost sit like I'm a contorted flipping lobster. But you know, uh, damn, is this good? I like him. I know we haven't had mention of him before, and I do find it weird that the only correlation we know of him and Shanks is from a partially filler movie. And I understand that Oda said the film Red is canon. But let's be honest, it's not all canon. There is no point in the story where Luffy had time. He was just like, yeah, I'm just gonna take a break in Onigashima. Hey Kaido, wanna call it quits for a moment? I'm gonna go to Ua's show real quick. Be back in a minute. No, it didn't happen. There was no point in film Red that actually happened like this. But obviously, there are parts of the movie that are canon. I just it just surprises me that Oda wouldn't put this connection, which is obviously so serious. Like Uta, she can be written off. She's not actually a Figurlin. She is adopted by Shanks, which obviously I'm not saying adopted children aren't real family. That is not the case. But I'm just saying she wasn't actually a member of the Figurlin family, which means she can be written off after film Red. So I just don't understand why we wouldn't make this connection in the real series itself. And though I understand Film Red is partially canon, I don't know. I'd have just liked to see this in the actual manga because it seems too important not to have it in there. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter too much. But yeah, that is the end of the chapter. I'm still a little shocked that a celestial dragon just got crucified. I suppose it's quite a fitting death, seeing as they are the closest to like angels and gods there are. So I guess it's quite a fitting death for a celestial dragon if they're going to be executed. But yeah, that is all for today. I hope you have enjoyed this One Piece chapter review. So yeah, I will be back in a month, hopefully with a Berserk video. It'll be, and when I say a month, it'll be a bit more than that because I won't be able to come back right away because I will be away. But it won't be much more than that. I've got some videos planned. I want to talk about the earlier days of One Piece. I want to talk about Berserk. I'd also like to do some more niche manga reviews. and I'm even planning on setting up a new channel altogether. So I'm going to be gone for a month, but I tell you, when I come back, it's going to be big. It's going to be big. I've got a lot of stuff coming up in my life. I've got a lot of stuff coming up for the channel. So I hope you all stick around. And yeah, that is all for today, and goodbye.